I watch a lot of movies. I mean, like a lot. And it's been a really, really long time since I've been so conflicted about what I think about this classic movie. It's it's a weird one. Let's talk about this 50-year-old movie, Badlands. The first movie by writer-director Terence Malick, Badlands tells the story of an impressionable teenage girl from a dead-end town and her older greaser boyfriend who embark on a killing spree in the South Dakota Badlands. The movie stars Martin Sheen, Sissy Spacek, and Warren Oates. Let's be honest about this movie, okay? This is a story about a do-nothing idiot schlub who basically kidnaps a young girl and takes her with him on a murder spree. I love the poster for this one, too. He was 25 years old. He combed his hair like James Dean. He was very fastidious. People who littered bothered him. She was 15. She took music lessons and could twirl a baton. She wasn't very popular at school. For a while, they lived together in a treehouse. In 1959, she watched while he killed a lot of people. Yeah, that's the movie, all right. There's a lot of similarities to a lot of other stories like this. Bonnie and Clyde, Natural Born Killers, True Romance. So yeah, this is a movie that definitely took some cues from some earlier films, but then also inspired a lot of films afterward. I mean, it's kind of an interesting story, right? I mean, it's been done many times and probably will continue to be done like this. It's almost like a Romeo and Juliet, except they're crazy murderers. Now, I've seen a few Terrence Malick movies. I haven't seen them all, but I will say that a lot of them feel almost like a visual poem, like a collection of philosophical ideas about a subject, rather than sometimes a satisfying, coherent idea. There's a lot of movies in the 1970s that sort of have this amoral way about them. You know, this sort of lack of respect for society and society's ideals and kind of going your own way and all that sort of thing. So I don't know if this movie is a product of Terrence Malick's sensibilities and his philosophies, or if he's just trying to make a statement that may be elusive to some, including me. It's a strange thing, but it's definitely inspired, maybe not like completely based on, but definitely inspired by the serial killer Charles Starkweather, who did a similar. I mean, it's if you read the real life story of Charles Starkweather, it's very, very similar. Other than the technical aspects of the film, which we'll get to some of that, the thing that really kind of sticks out at me is that these characters seem like they're in a trance. They seem like they're in a very dreamlike state. They don't act, in my opinion, like real human beings. I don't know. Like for this type of story, I want emotion. You know, I want feelings of dread or, sorrow at what they've done. Or, I don't know, even elation, like excitement that they got away with this and they got away with that. I don't get any of that here. It's a very it's a very flat movie emotionally, and it's frustrating. In the supplements, Martin Sheen says that his friend George C. Scott saw the movie and said that, oh wow, you're like the most attractive villain ever, and that you're just with him the whole way. You want to see him get away with it. And I'm like, wow, I did not get that at all. Like I didn't have any respect for this character. Like I wanted him to get caught or killed. Like I did not like Martin Sheen's character here. It's not his acting, it's the writing. I did not like his character. I mean, he's incredibly selfish. He just wants to be famous and just wants to be seen. You know, like I don't know. It's a strange thing. And the idea that oh, he's actually civil to people, before he commits these crimes upon them, it's not endearing. It's scary. like I don't like that. It's not it doesn't feel realistic to me. This total disconnect from any sort of humanity. It's weird. It feels manufactured in a way. But then there's this childlike notion that he has that everything he has to say is somehow made more important because he's killed people. It's very weird. A lot of very famous actors and directors have said that the use of voiceover is like a crutch. It's the lack of ability of a director or whatever to try to get across an idea without having to show it on film. And I don't necessarily agree with that. Like when a lot of times when a novel is adapted to a movie, you lose a little bit of that inner dialogue that the characters have, where you really get into the head of the character. It's not just what the character's saying and doing, it's what they're thinking. And that's how Malick uses it here. And to me, it's extremely effective because you're getting Holly's point of view on these things. So Sissy Spacek's character, you're not just getting her explanation or her take on what's going on, but then these other thoughts that she's having surrounding, what's happening to her and what she's experiencing. It's actually really effective in basically showing that yes, she's a child and that she has no business being involved in this, and she's not adult enough to really grasp what's going on. The biggest problem though is that she doesn't seem to show any remorse or fear or anything, not even love or even like a lusting for Kit. It's a strange thing here, and she just seems to go along with everything, and it's confusing. It's confusing to me because I don't feel like most people would act that way. But then again, there are a lot of people in this world that are very, very confusing to me, and the way that they think and the way that they make decisions. So, I mean, I guess that's a thing. Now, we can sit here and argue about the effectiveness of the story, the acting, whatever, but in my opinion, this is beautifully shot. It's beautifully put together. Terence Malick, I mean, again, you may not enjoy the film like you would, something else, any popcorn movie or whatever. You might not enjoy it on that same level, but it is gorgeous to look at. And in fact, it just continued to strike me that short of knowing Martin Sheen and Sissy Spacek and knowing that, they're much older now. It's been 50 years since this movie came out. This movie looks like it could have been shot yesterday. It's wonderfully done. And especially for this being his first feature and it being very, very low budget, it's really well done. Now, I mentioned True Romance earlier. That is the movie that got me to buy this movie. During a Criterion sale, I bought Badlands. And the thing is, it's so much from True Romance is borrowed from Badlands, including a lot of the score, this childlike theme that plays through Badlands is also present in True Romance, but Hans Zimmer has laid a melody on top of that as well. So it's really kind of interesting because it's definitely the same feeling. It's literally like the beginning of a song, and then Hans Zimmer added the melody on top to almost finish it, which is kind of, I don't know, I kind of like that kind of stuff because I'm a dork when it comes to music and things like that. But also the voiceover. Patricia Arquette's character in True Romance has voiceover throughout a lot of the movie, and it's very similar because you're not just getting what she's reacting to, but you're getting her inner monologue, the things that she's thinking, and that it's really cool and well done. It's very, very well done. I think Tony Scott was masterful at putting that story together. I don't think anyone could have done True Romance like Tony Scott. So taking this idea, Quentin Tarantino wrote the script, taking that idea and then giving it to Tony Scott to direct, it made a movie that I think goes down in history as a really, really fantastic movie. Overall, this movie has a lot going for it. I mean, you've got two star-making performances from Martin Sheen and Sissy Spacek. I mean, they'd done some things in the past, but this was like their big break. This was the movie that kind of put them on the map. You've got Terence Malick's first outing as a writer-director, and many people put him on the level with some of the greats, in history, the best directors ever. And the use of voiceover, the way that it's used, so different than how it had been used in the past, And now we've got this new way of telling a story, and there's a lot of things. How beautiful the movie looks. There's so many things. But man, it's hard to recommend. It's hard for me to recommend this movie because I'll tell you what, for a 94-minute movie, it felt twice as long. It seriously felt really, really long. The pacing is just, it's so slow. And again, not being able to really identify with the characters, that was tough. So yeah. But look, I've said enough about what I think about Badlands. I want to hear from you. Have you seen this movie and what do you think about it? Am I missing something? Do I need to watch it again? I mean, just, I want to know. I want to know from the people that really enjoy this movie, and let me know what I'm missing, because I feel like I'm missing something. I don't feel like I'm not smart enough to get it. I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.